I'm your host, Top Rope Zeus, and welcome to the Queen's Court Season 2 recap episode 2. All right. What did y'all think about episode 2? We are in the new season of Queen's Court, and if you don't know what Queen's Court is a show about 3 celebrity women who really have it all in their life, right? Everything except love. So they go on this show and they meet 22 successful men, and these 22 successful men are also looking for love. Okay, so we get to go on this journey with these queens and these kings and see who gets lucky and who finds love. So we are lucky to have some of the cast from episode 2, and we're going to bring them up. But first and foremost, let's talk to our sponsors. We're going to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Live Your Dreams, Not Your Reality. Okay, this is a dreamer's apparel for those that have goals. You know, a lot of times we have dreams, but it's not enough to have a dream. You have to wear your dream, okay? So we want to give a big shout out to Live Your Dreams, Not Your Reality. Make sure you go to topropezeus.com and get you some merch and become a part of the vision, the journey, okay? So what we think about episode 2? I don't know about y'all, but I watched it. I got excited. There's some things there's some things happening. So without further ado, before we do anything, we have to shout out the queens. First off, big shout out to Queen LisaRaye, Queen K. Michelle, and Queen Delicious. Thank you, queens. We appreciate all your time, and hopefully maybe we might be able to get you guys on one of these recaps so we can hear your side and your version of what it was like to be on this show, okay? And we have to give a big shout out to the host of the show, Miss Holly Robinson Pete and Mr. Rodney Pete. You know, they are couple goals, you know, making sure everybody is good and making sure the couples are having communication. So we appreciate you guys. Shout out to Peacock, shout out to Will Packer, and shout out to Bravo, okay? So without further ado, let's get these kings up here. So first and foremost, we're going to bring up the new G's, okay? We're going to bring up the new G's. They're the first ones that came on this second episode, so they just got introduced to the queens. We're going to bring up David, we're going to bring up Ben, and we're going to bring up Dre, some of the favorites of this show. They came and they pulled up. The kings are here, and they are ready to talk about their experience with the queens. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. Really?
Hey,
good.
what's going on, Zeus, man? It's been too long, brother.
What's going on, David? My man Ben in the house.
What's going on,
up,
Dre?
What's going on, brother?
King Dre. Ben, what's going on, man? How you been, brother?
Oh, good. Real good.
Good, man. I'm good to see you guys. So look, we're not gonna waste no time. Let's jump right into it. I know you guys all watched the second episode. You've seen yourself first on camera. Is this anybody's first time on camera? By show of hands, first time ever on TV?
Yeah, I mean, for something like this, absolutely.
Okay,
okay. No, it's not my first time at all.
It's not your first time, Dre? I see Dre. Listen, Dre's starting off toxic already. I love it. Dre got the wine and pinky up. He got the low voice. Hey, I'm here for it, Dre.
Goddamn right.
I'll say, so I've done a lot of things, but not national TV.
Right.
Okay. Ben might be on a recorder somewhere in the 90s. You might be on
Betamax.
Absolutely. So you guys' first date and first introduction to the queens was actually a dance challenge, right? So you guys had to get with the queens and you had to do the bachata, which, you know me, I'm Puerto Rican, so that ain't nothing new to me. You know what I'm saying? I get my bachata on, baby. Bow. I'm on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you did really well and got a date. Others of you didn't get the date, may have had a couple left feet. We don't really know, but we're going to start with David. David, tell me how it was for you doing the bachata, you know, with the ladies, and then what was it like when they took off and revealed, you know, tell us about that, what that was like for you.
First of all, I want to say 3 cool points for anybody that can spell bachata.
Bachata. B-A-C-H-A-T-A.
Right.
Yeah.
2 L-E-F-T-F-E-E-T.
Yeah.
No, it was cool, man. I mean, it was a brand new dance. They like try to teach us really quick for like 2 minutes and then go do it, you know. And so I think they did the queens like that and the kingsmen like that as well. And so it was fun. I mean, I think it was really just about like getting into an uncomfortable space and seeing how cool you could make it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really what the
who,
whole.
Who did you dance with? And were you one of the better dancers, or were you like, you wasn't really getting the bachata that well?
I danced with LisaRaye.
Okay.
I danced with K. Michelle. I don't think I got to dance with London.
I think I saw you dance with London. I think so. I think you danced with London.
Did I dance with London? Okay.
Yeah, I think you danced with London. Yeah.
Okay. Why is it that you remember that, Zeus?
Because I just watched the episode. I'm the host. That's what I'm supposed to be informed.
I'm messing with you. No, I'm messing with you, brother. No, seriously.
Yeah.
But it was cool. And so I didn't know a whole lot about the dance, but it was a nice little experience. And it was really just about like getting into an uncomfortable space with somebody that was, new to you, and how cool you could make it. I think is what the whole deal was. So it was all right.
Okay. Did you win a date off of that?
I did not win a date from that.
Okay. How'd you feel about that?
I was cool. No issues.
Okay.
No issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was competition. You said it was competition. You like, look, it's a lot of testosterone in here.
First of all, they asked a lot of questions in those confessionals, trying to like pull it out of all of us. So I don't know if I feel like it was so much a competition as I felt like it might have been like congestion, traffic, because there's a lot of people. But I don't know if I felt like it was competition.
Okay. I hear you swag, man. I hear you swagging. Let me ask you this. What was it like when the ladies took off their masks? Did you know exactly who all of them were? Did you not know? And then when you found out who they were, what were you thinking?
We did not know who it was we were dancing with while we were dancing with them. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't say who they are. And, so it was just very unknown. Once they took off their masks, then yes, all of the queens, all of the women were very identifiable. And so I knew who they were. And once I saw that, it was like, oh, wow. Like, yeah, like.
Who did you want to identify with?
Well, I think there was a lot of chemistry, even though I didn't win a date. I think from the dance and the conversation, there was a lot of chemistry in the first interaction. So although I didn't win a date, I felt really good about how things might go.
Okay. Sounds good. Ben Swayze. And I heard is the nickname. I heard you got a lot of swag, Ben. They call you Ben Swayze.
I can dance.
He said, yeah, I can dance.
No, that ain't why they call him Swayze.
Oh, okay.
Might
you gotta find out.
That's right.
So tell us, Ben, how was it for you? You did the bachata. Was this your first time doing the bachata? And how did you think you did? You did?
Not the first time doing the bachata. And I mean, listen, I grew up in Florida. There's Latin music everywhere. And so, I think London was asking me, gosh, you got to tell me this. You've got to be Hispanic. And I got to be honest, until Ancestry DNA, I thought I was, and I was like, what? No. Because I
don't know. You might have Nigerian in there, Ben. I don't know. I don't know. You might want to look into that. You do well with black women.
Yeah. Well,
you do well.
Listen, women are women. Women are women, and beauty is beauty. It knows no color, right?
Absolutely.
So
okay. Like so once you did the bachata, who were the ladies that you danced with? And, who did you feel like chemistry with?
So I remember dancing with all three, unlike David, and each one each one was memorable for different reasons. And I think chemistry wise, it was definitely K. Michelle, right? I mean, we just fit differently. London, I mean, that dress she was wearing was phenomenal and shocking. And so I think there were some comments that didn't make the episode, but golly, that
now being you're being interviewed by the guy who was dating London. So I was like, hey, I don't even remember dancing with her. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I don't think there's anybody that danced with her that forgot. Like, you were just being a gentleman. I'm not going there. Like, this is true telling.
Right. Well, my character hasn't been introduced on the show just yet, so we're not going to talk about me just yet. We'll wait till my character get introduced. It's about you, Kings, and I'm here to celebrate you guys and get into your storylines. So, did you win a date off the dance bin or no?
I did not.
You did not. Okay. How'd you feel about that?
I was a little bummed. Because I felt like it was a little bit of a layup. I think there were some assumptions when we all got in front of the instructors, and they're like, "Okay, I see him. He's not going to be able to dance." And so, like, it was good. I'm down with the Latin flavor. So, but and there was somebody who isn't here, but I think should be Adam.
Adam killed it.
He can dance the bachata. So
yes, he can.
I was eyeing him. I'm like, oh, okay, that's gonna be tough. But.
Adam Dominican. Adam Dominican. Shout out to Adam. We tried to have Adam on the show, but we wasn't able to coordinate schedules. Excuse me.
I think somebody else on this call got the date though, which.
Somebody got the date between K. Michelle in the very first interaction with the bachata, and I believe that gentleman we have here today, Mr. Dre, King Dre. Can you talk to us a little bit about your experience with the Queens coming in with the bachata, and how did it feel to win the date with K. Michelle?
First of all, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior, my mom, my dad, for giving me 2 amazing feats and the confidence to just be overall excellent. And I just want to thank you guys. Now we can talk about it. It was it was a wonderful experience. I did not know anybody except LisaRaye for obvious reasons. I didn't know who to wrestle because I don't do reality TV. That's funny. So I was like, cool.
You do reality now.
I know, right? We all in that, though, did it? So with that said, like, I got to dance with all the.
Did you find the ladies attractive though? You only knew LisaRaye, but did you find the other queens attractive?
Most definitely. If you was there, you seen what they were wearing, like Ben said. Phenomenal. Oh my God, everything was poking out everywhere. So like K said in one thing, everything was poking out. Things was poking. And the thing about it is, the way she was dancing, like, she messed up our whole bachata. She started doing twerking and everything else. So I didn't know what I was going to do with this little person in front of me. And I was like, got me on camera looking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? I'm in a whole suit. And all right, kind of twerking.
I look like y'all were having fun.
No, we definitely had fun. And, even though some people thought it might have been a layup, it was a competition and I don't like losing.
Okay. So when you won that date, secretly inside, was you like, how was you feeling? Or was you like, because it's a competition show. So how were you?
I was like, oh, okay, cool. I got this. This is a layup. This is a layup.
It's a layup. Okay. Ben's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. So no, I felt really good. She was had good energy when we talked, and we just got to know each other in that first little instance. It was just interesting because you're trying to get your footing in a high-paced atmosphere. So it was all cool for me.
Okay. Sounds good. So after you guys had the dance with the ladies, then you got some extra company that was added to the situation, right? You guys got to meet the OGs. That's right. So you guys, the new G's, but they had already been being macked on by the OGs.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about this. This question, David, talk to me a little bit about what was it like when the OGs came on, to the show. Were you intimidated, not intimidated in a way where you're afraid, but you see that there's a lot more competition, more congestion, as you said. So how was you feeling when you saw the OGs, and how confident did you feel that you were going to do well in this competition?
Yeah, so I mean, there was a lot to get used to, right? So it's like, they'll say action and they want you to go approach this woman,
Okay.
And when you approach this woman, what you don't know is, 2.5 minutes into your conversation, somebody's going to come interrupt you. And so, you get used to that, but it's new in the very beginning.
What did you think when it very first happened to you the first time? Somebody interrupted you. What did you think?
I
Be
mean,
honest.
you know, when somebody came to interrupt me, I was just like, "Welp," you know what I'm saying? Like that was it. Like okay,
Right.
but you know, it was just getting accustomed to that. I hate to say timing because there was no timing. That was the real thing, is that there was, I think that the whole experience, they did a lot to try to set a space where there is no expected timing. You don't know when when you're gonna approach her, or how long you're
Right.
gonna be with her, or how long the
Yeah.
conversation will be. And so I think they did a lot to try to keep that very unpredictable. And then
Okay.
from there, it's really just about like, you know, what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah. It's a free for all. It's a free for all. It's pretty much whoever can
it's
get
a
in where they fit
freestyle.
in. Ben can be talking to somebody, Dre can be talking, and then you have to come up and say, "Hey, can I get some time?" And then you could accept and get up and leave and say, "Okay, you got it," or they could be like, "Nah, you know what? I actually just got here. Give me a little bit more time." Or you could sit
Right.
down with them and make it a group thing.
And you had to really like be conscious of the time that you have. So like, I think very early on, everyone kind of got, I don't want to say paired with someone, but it locked in pretty quick. And then once it locked in, you didn't have a lot of time to go like just shoot the breeze with somebody else. Like you really needed to spend your time.
Somebody was able to pull that off. We'll get with them more. It was hard. You're right. It was hard for the kings to talk to more than one queen, but somehow somebody managed to pull that off. We're gonna get to him in a sec. Ben, Dre, so after you guys got the dates, the OGs came in. What did you guys think about the OGs? The competition now has really came on, because now it's other guys that's had time with the ladies. What y'all thinking? How you feeling? What was your first thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with other guys, not OGs. Like they're just the other guys, and I don't know. So Dre and I had a lot of conversations about that, and in the moment, it was like, I'm not worried.
Not worried about these guys. Like you walk in, like like a shark can see another shark from afar, and all I was seeing was guppies. All right, I didn't feel I didn't feel no intimidation from the guys walking in. Yeah, it's
shit, Dre.
Exactly.
Talk your shit, Dre.
Sprinkle.
Ben, you talking too. You talking, Ben.
So I mean, like between them, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, all right. And I was like, I wonder which one is, who's gonna be my competition for real, which obviously none of them were. So that was a good thing. So yeah, I didn't see no competition. My competition was right next to me.
Okay, Ben Swayze. Okay. I love it.
Rather compete with friends and enemies, right?
There you go.
That's it.
There you go. Well, listen. Now that we've gotten the new G's and we've gotten accustomed to you guys, now let's bring on the OGs. We got a couple OGs that pulled up on us from episode 1, and they have had time with the ladies. And they actually go on some dates. Y'all go on some group dates with the ladies. So let's bring them on. Let's bring on my man Zach, King Zach, and King Afam. Yeah.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
I heard a lot of big
talk. Hey, Zach, man, how you been?
A lot of big talk.
Yeah, Zach, you looking blacker than ever, man.
Zach always throwing a curveball.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Zach back up when his situation gets back. Hold on, I think we might have him more.
That is perfectly Zach.
I gotta go to the satellite.
I was reading this book.
There we go.
This shit right here, baby. This
business model.
I don't know about you, but there ain't no competition when you're reading this book, Mr.
Oh man.
Hey, I like that.
I see you, bro.
Come on, man.
That's what I like to see. Welcome,
Where's that
gentlemen.
Rosé?
Welcome,
Right here.
welcome. Yeah, so we have King Zach that joined us, and we have King of Farm that pulled up on us. We appreciate you,
Zeus, I
gentlemen.
can't hear you,
Shout
bro.
out to David. Was that David's book that you had, Zach?
Yes, it was.
Okay. What's the name of the book, David?
So what's again?
What's the name of the book?
Business Model. You can find it at
Business-
businessmodelbook.com.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I got to check that out, man.
Yes.
I got to check that out. And I like that. You see that right there? That's how you support kings. You come on and we
Yeah.
support each other. Everything. I like that.
My
I like
God.
that.
My God.
While Zach is getting his life together, I
So,
don't know what Zach is doing.
you know what?
Zach is getting his
If
life.
we're not even on the show, we're on another show, Zach.
Exactly. While Zach is getting his life,
I'm not even.
He is
Is
always
this
in
what
character.
it was like?
Always in
This is for all of you. Is this what it was like to film with Zach? Like, is this how Zach? Wow.
Zach yet. No one knows where Zach is.
Okay.
No comment. No comment.
Well,
No
we'll continue the
snitching.
discussion. We'll continue the discussion, and Zach will pop in on us when he get his shit together. All right. So, Afam,
Yes,
you were
sir.
one of the OGs that pulled up, and man, there we go. You good, Zach?
Yeah, sorry, technical
Great.
difficulties, baby. My
Awesome.
bad.
The speaker can't keep up with his mouth.
Zach and Afam, you two were the OGs in episode 2. You guys, after the new guys had a bachata dance, that challenge was the bachata dance. They, you guys pulled up and you got to meet the new G's, is what they're calling them. And yeah, they scheming on your girls. They trying to take your queen. So, what was you guys' first impression of the new guys that came on? Were you feeling like, oh, this is a real competition now? Were you kind of nervous at some of the competition? Did you feel like you had real competition, or you was like, nah, no confidence that there is nobody here? Tell me how you was feeling. How you talk to me, Zach?
You know, I mean, put it for real. Like for me, I know it's competition. They always ask, oh, competition. I say, for me, I'm not competing for love, man. Like I just don't do that. If a girl needs to be competed for love, it ain't my girl. If a girl's running from you, if you're chasing her, she's running away. I'm not trying to chase nobody. I'm not trying to compete for nobody. I'm going to be me. And so I'm like, more power to you. If you got it, you got it. But if you don't, you don't. No biggie. Like, I didn't feel like, oh, man, I don't belong here. All these dudes are outshining me. Like, I didn't feel like that. I feel like I'm good. Like, I ain't worried about it, you know? Even my boy David, I saw him over there. I'm like, hey, David, your bow tie a little crooked, homie. Like, fix it up. You look all swagged out. I'm like, I got you, baby. Like, because even off camera, because I wanted him to look good. I'm like,
okay,
you know what I mean?
So you
like,
weren't tripping. You okay?
You got to look
I
out
like
for
that.
We're all dudes out here, man. We're men. We're doing our thing, and I want my brothers to shine too. Like, shine bright, baby. You a star. So that's how I felt. Like, this is gonna be. It just made more fun. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, I like that. Afam, how was you feeling when you saw the new guys trying to dance with K. Michelle? Bachata. They were stiffening up on her. She said they some sauces. Yeah, he was stiffening up.
Yeah, some of them were getting a little excited. We didn't actually see the bachata. We didn't know what they had done at all. Like, we just walked in, we saw them lined up, we saw the ladies facing them, and then we came up behind them. And I just remember the first thing that we did was we started getting in conversations with the ladies, and I wasn't really focused on the guys. To tell you the truth, I kind of felt a lot of sympathy for them because they were doing what we had just done 3 days ago. So for me, it was just like calm, relax. Like, we already knew these women. We were having a great time. And, you know, for me, I mean, I heard a lot of big talk, but I could sense a little bit of nervousness. I'm not saying any particular person was that, but there were definitely some little concerned faces that we were seeing on the other side. But, you know, I mean, I just knew how it was for me on that first day. So I was feeling like, oh, man, they're going through that right now. And, you know, they cut out a lot of the stuff, but once we actually, you know, broke away and started chatting, you know, it was all brothers. It was all talking. Nobody was like talking shit. You know, we were all friendly, trying to get to know each other and like talking to them a little bit about what we had been through. And, you know, they were cool. Like, I didn't feel any animosity from them or towards them. It was just like, hey, we're here to do this thing and we're going to see how it goes. And, you know, same as Zach, like, I don't believe you can compete for love. You could show who you are, and then the woman is either going to connect with that or she isn't. And if you're not showing who you are, then what the fuck is the point? You know, so it's like, for me also, it wasn't really about competition. I mean, of course, there's some like, oh, you know, there's somebody talking to my woman. So of course, there's a little bit of that, right? But competition, competition. Exactly. Exactly. You know what?
I like when a farm get aggressive. I like that.
I never heard of.
I like when a farm get
so this is new.
My
Who
woman.
gives a fuck about it? Wait, nigga.
My woman. I love that. So let's get into the dates, gentlemen. Let's get into the dates. Some of you got dates, and some of you did not get dates. But actually, yeah, some of you did not get dates. So let's go. We'll start. Let's see who had a date with K. Michelle. Ben, Dre, and Afam. Okay, good. So you guys had the date with K. Michelle. Zach, you had the date with whom?
I got asked on a date with London, and I mean, since there was so much competition, I got asked on a date with K. Michelle too. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I don't know who got asked on 2 dates, but there was one of us that did. I think it was me. I don't know. I don't remember.
Calm down, King. Calm down.
Oh, no. We're here for it. We're here for it.
You got the 2. All right.
Okay, Zach. Listen.
I don't know. I mean,
since you brought it up.
I don't remember you being at the bull ride.
No, because I had to say no to one of them. You know, unlike the rest, I had to say, oh man, there's too many to choose from, so I got to say no. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, fellas, but you're lucky I wasn't there riding that bull, Daddy, because if I had rode that bull, she'd have sent all you brothers home. She'd be like, wrap it up. I got my king, Daddy. Let's go. I'm
saying the guy that didn't ride a bull.
Yeah. Save a horse, baby. Hey, save a horse, ride a cowboy. What you know? What you know?
My man got his Garth Brooks. Listen.
Let's go.
Zach,
I would just say that after K. Michelle got up from that couch with you.
What'd you say, Ben?
I think it's right. We want to be riding cowgirls.
Yeah. I'm just telling them to ride the cowboy, baby.
He said we want to ride cowgirls, not cowboys. Okay.
I don't know.
Listen, I love some white on white crime. Y'all know it. Let's keep it going.
Mom said something. What happened after that?
You two keep it going.
Okay.
Zach's confidence was not the same after that conversation with K. Michelle. I can tell you that much. I remember because I was about to go up and interrupt them, and not even. So I was walking. I was like halfway there. And then K. Michelle just stands up, and I don't remember what she said, but she was not happy. And I just like turned around and walked away. After I saw Zach's face, his white went even whiter. And she got
to
a table of the men, the other guys. Oh man, that was quite a moment. Dude, I went over after that and like sat down with Zach and we chatted for a little while, and that was
let's set up the moment so everybody can know what we're talking about. So Zach started off in the first episode as K. Michelle's love interest, it seemed to be, and then K sent you to elimination. Yeah. And then London, it seemed to appear that she saved you from elimination, and then in the next episode asked you out on a date. Now, to me, that made logical sense, because if somebody sends you to elimination, that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want you, but that means they're not sure about you, right? Secondly, London saving Zach says, hey, I might want to give this guy a try. So to me, it only made sense that she would ask you out on the date, but she asked first.
Right.
Now, Zach, you bragging because you 2 ladies wanted you. But let me tell you something. Boy, it didn't look that funny when K. Michelle was digging in your ass.
Oh, my God.
I'm not trying to be funny, Zach, but it looked so much pressure that she was putting on you. And I'll get your answer in a sec. But it seemed like, hey, this is a dating show, so it looked like you were kind of like, well, I thought everybody dates everybody to see who they want to be with. And, you just looked like you was trying to tell her, calm down. It's not that I'm choosing her. She asked me first. So, yeah. And Kay was not trying to hear nothing you had to say. You got a black woman that day. She won't have none of that. She won't. So what was it like being in the hot seat in that moment? Did Kay misunderstand what you were saying? And how did it feel when Kay Michelle basically let you know this is not okay? I'm not, and she said, don't talk to me. If you ain't, she said, don't talk to me if you trying to date somebody else. Do you think she misunderstood? How was you feeling?
Yeah, I don't know that she misunderstood. It's a conundrum, man. It's the double-edged sword where they're dating 6, 7, 8. They're going on dates with multiple dudes, right? So for her to get upset that I said yes to another woman, I was like, wait, what? But then I realized, well, maybe she does have a deeper connection than that. Like she was mad, like she was upset, and I was like, I wasn't trying to do that. But we also know if somebody asks you out, you go on the date. If you don't get asked on a date, you could be sent to elimination.
Right. It could have been risky if you would have said no, and then Kay did not ask you.
Right. 100%. And it wasn't because I didn't want to hang out with Kay. It was just because I'm like, well, London's cool and she saved me. Maybe there is some vibe here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just talking to my dudes right before that. I was talking to Booker and Offam, and I'm like, I mean, what do we do? Like, do we go for the same person? Do we like talk to everybody? What do we do? And they're like, well, I mean, if somebody else asks me out, I mean, I'll probably say yes, because what else are you supposed to do?
Right.
So, but I felt bad. I mean, ask Offam. I felt real bad, man, because I didn't want to hurt nobody. That wasn't my intent.
Right.
I wasn't trying to be like, I mean, I joke around like, oh yeah, whatever. But I never want to be that dude that hurts somebody or trying to play somebody's, games or pull strings. I wasn't trying to do any of that, bro. But I mean, it did feel good to get asked, and then it felt bad to get blasted, bro. That got me down real quick.
That was some heat. David, you went out on a date with LisaRaye.
Yeah, a few.
A few. Okay, so for the episode you guys date, because you're the only king representing LisaRaye, you got on a date. You guys had, I believe, a vision board date, and it was you, Adam, and Booker. And you guys, the challenge was you guys had to basically do your vision board, how it inspires you, and then she picks out of which one impresses her the most, who gets the date. You got the date, and when I saw it, I can see why. Like, you're really good at Davidisms, okay? You make a complicated thing seem simple. And that's a gift. That's a gift. That's a gift. It's strong. It's like your hairline. It's a gift and it's strong. I wish I had one. I wish I had one. So tell me about, how did you feel about going on that date with LisaRaye? How did you feel when you got the date? Because Booker, listen, before you got there, Booker was cooking. He's still cooking. Second episode, he's still cooking. But I must admit, when you stepped into the arena, at first, I felt like LisaRaye was kind of looking at you like, you know what, he's fun. He's got something there. But, I'm not really fully sure. His stuff might be too smooth. I think sometimes ladies say you're too smooth. But when I saw her pick you on that date, I said, Mr. Too Smooth might be getting in too right. So how did you feel about that?
Well, first I would say, don't get in a counting match with an ad machine. That would be the first thing I say.
Sounds pimping.
David.
I got to think about it later, but it sounds good.
That's a
Davidism.
It sounds good. I'm gonna put it in my pocket and save it for later.
Y'all hilarious. Y'all hilarious, man. Hilarious. But no, so look, so when we did the vision board, I've never done a vision board before. And so, the one thing I would say out of all of the episodes is there's a ton of conversation that is edited out of the episodes to make it move forward. And so nothing against, how they did it, but there's just a lot of conversation that's not included. And so, although you hear a lot,
you guys to fill that in.
Right. And so, although you hear a lot of Davidisms, there's a lot of meaningful conversation in between all those Davidisms. And so it was really cool. I think that, LisaRaye was feeling the way I put my vision board together. It was kind of like outside the box. I don't know what proper vision board protocol is. So I was just being me. When we got to go on the date together, and especially in the very beginning, those dates were super short.
mini dates. Yeah.
Oh my God, right. And so you just had to make it all count. You know what I'm saying? What they say, life isn't how much time you have. It's about making the moments that you have count. And so it was just that, like we started talking about just different things, our family, careers, what we do, what's important. And I think we just, me being me and keeping it real, I think she was able to kind of, see a little bit into who I am.
Yeah.
And I think those things just connected with her. So yeah.
I think you did a good job at I believe when you guys sat down one-on-one, you were talking about what you do. She was asking about what it is that you do. You do stuff with AI and technology, and you handled your first kind of, I ain't gonna say disagreement because it wasn't a disagreement, but you guys didn't agree on the same subject because you talked about AI and she was like, oh, I don't like that. And then just that simple in that moment, you were able to communicate to her and make her see a different side of it. And I was like, ooh, Booker, you better watch out for David because this nigga is coming.
But listen,
he pulling up.
Oh my God, here we go. Look, man,
absolutely. The way you explained it, I think you used the she was basically a little bit nervous about AI and how it's taking over everything, and you kind of basically said, well, people felt like that towards the light bulb because people used to light candles, and so it's the evolution of technology. And I just thought to myself, what a very wonderful, simplistic analogy.
Yeah, man. Look, the game is deep. You know what I'm saying? And shoot, we could teach you, but you got to be willing to learn. And so, like, the way she was approaching the whole tech thing, I was just like, I totally get it. I understand it. Once you're a little closer to it, here's some perspective to it. But LisaRaye has a lot of perspective in the things that she does. She's in fashion, she's in directing, movies, all that kind of stuff. And so there was a whole nother side of the conversation that folks didn't get to see that we were talking about on her side as well. So it was a really cool kind of, vibe.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. K Michelle's guys. Dre, get your hand out your pocket. All right. It's time. So K Michelle's guys. I'm gonna get your ass. You pay attention on this live, Nick.
David was down there talking so long, I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, damn right. This is prime time, baby. It's prime time. So K Michelle, you guys, we have 4 K Michelle's love interests. We got a guy that played for 2 NBA teams. So we got Zach's perspective about K Michelle. You 3 went on a date with K Michelle, and she wanted to see if you guys were some down ass riders. And that's metaphorically speaking, because you guys went on a bull riding date, right? So tell me about the bull riding date, and then we'll get into who won the date and their one-on-one with K Michelle. So talk to me first. Afam, you went up first at the bull riding date. I believe it was was that your first time doing it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. So how was that for you? Was you trying to win the date? Were you nervous? Like, I really want to win it, or he's like, I'm just trying not to fall?
I was not going to win it. I knew I was going to lose. I was just like, let me not make too much of a fool of myself. That's why I went first. I'm like, okay, nobody's speaking up. Let me get this thing over with. And it was like, I remember, Dre, you said that in the episode, like that thing was slippery as hell. It was like, you could barely stay on that. I don't know if that's normal, but I did not do well. And I never saw this before, but they did during interviews after they were talking to the queens, and K Michelle was like, Afam did terrible on the bull ride, which was true. And on top of that, she had it at like the lowest possible setting for me. Like, I think she finally turned it up barely a little bit, like after I was on it for like a minute. And then I just went right off, and I was like, okay, but I'm going to go and have fun with this thing and, just enjoy it. And I did enjoy it. And I will say we started like 5 hours late, so we had barely any time to actually do any of that. Like the whole bull riding part, the date, like Dre, you probably barely got even a few minutes. And like the whole thing was probably 30 minutes because, we started so late. But it was still fun. I had a good time. I hadn't met these guys before we got a little bit of a chance to chat. But yeah, I knew I was going to do terrible. When I saw that, the second I saw that bull, I was like, I'm not winning this one. Let's try to make it to the next one.
Wow. What about you, Ben? Did you feel like you were going to do good on the bull riding challenge? Were you nervous? It sounded like it was slippery with some Diddy oil on it. You might have to look into that.
So it may have been fixed. I don't know. But No, so I've ridden a bull before, like a real bull, and I've ridden a mechanical bull, and was younger. So, I mean, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to do great. Not so great. And what kills me is the greatest line, like K. Michelle came off. She's like, that was the quickest ride I've ever seen. And I popped right back up and I'm like, hey, sometimes the first ride goes like that. It's how quick can you get up for the second ride?
Okay.
They cut that. It might have been my best, like, off the cuff line, and they cut it. So
that ain't your best, Ben. That ain't your best. I beg to differ.
That is not your best.
My favorite Ben line of this episode, when you first sat down with K. Michelle, y'all was talking, you have a great conversation, and you got on the subject of being adopted. She wanted to adopt children, and it was a great coincidence that you are adopted and you shared that with her. So to me, it seemed like you guys connected off rip from that right there, and that could have been a reason why you got the first date. Then she asked how old you were. And she said you told her how old you were. She said, "Oh, you seasoned." And Ben, you made me proud.
She said,
you looked right at that woman. She said, "Ben, how old are you, Ben?" And Ben looked at him. He's like, "Oh, so you seasoned?" Yeah, this penis. She said, "I like seasoned penis." He's like, "Yo, you seasoned."
Oh yeah. It's seasoned, all right.
Ben Swayze. Ben, that was the best line of the entire episode for me. I give that to you. You got the juice. I give that to you. You got the sauce. So tell me about, when you didn't get the date. Did you think you were going to win the date? Were you trying to, or were you disappointed when you didn't get it? Talk to me.
Oh my gosh. On the bull, no, I knew I didn't. Because unlike a farm where she ran it like 0.5 to 1, like she cranked it to 10 right off, and I was right off. So, I mean, but that's all right. Listen, we ended up having an amazing conversation at the end, and like we haven't covered the winner yet of that date, but we had a really good conversation. I think it was one of those moments where, like, we knew that we had a good connection because of that conversation that we had, and I think that. The way it edited out was, I'm gonna write a song. It was really deep, and I think it was one of those moments where I'm like, okay, like she's cool, like we're gonna get to know each other, and I think that was my fear the whole time, was it would stay sort of TV and surface level. And that was my first indication it was going to go a little deeper. And I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, you and Kay seem to have a lot of we're starting to have, like you were saying, deep conversations that really seem to be connecting. So even though you didn't get the date, I feel like when you have those deep conversations with the Queen, you actually gain growth and traction with them. They remember that. Yeah. So it's that mini date within itself. So the people that did win the date. I guess you and Afam was like, boo, fuck 100%. This guy. She's my queen. But let's talk to the guy who actually won the date with Kay, Mr. Dre. Dre, can you talk to us about you went on the bull ride? I think Kay said you did the best. And you said you had rode a bull before, and then you actually got the one-on-one date. So tell us about that.
Well, let's jump into it. First of all, I was going into the win, and I had a plan to let them go first to see what kind of how hard I was going to have to work for it on that bull. So I was not going to go first on TV, not at all. That was my plan, and it worked like a charm. Plus, I'm from Kentucky. I'm from the country. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be knocked off on this bull on the first time, and people see this. People are gonna laugh at me. So I won. We got the conversation. It just, I don't know. Once again, I thought we had good conversation, but she was already on. She was already on it, bro. Like she already looked at me a certain way, when I was talking too smooth or whatever, and saying, this is what I want to do, And she already had me pinned. I feel like in that thing, because as you said, I got the win. I'm the winner, but. Ben got
Yeah.
Like, I should have lost so I could have been Ben. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what's going on? Like, I wasn't feeling it once I saw it. I was like, she was looking at the camera, looking off and crazy stuff. I was like, what am I saying? Am I not saying the things that you want me to say?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. So, because when you're in the moment, it's different from when you're watching yourself on TV. Because now you're seeing their facial expressions. I mean, some of it is editing, the way they're cutting it up a lot, you know, as well. But
Right.
with you, Dre, how did it seem? Because I was looking at K. Michelle and what you were saying, and it started off good. It started off great. Everything you were saying, it seemed like it was all great things. But I think what K. Michelle was saying is, and I don't think you would have been able to really to know this because you can't be inside of her brain. But in her mind, it was kind of like, oh, you're saying guys feed me candy all the time. This is that dude just telling me what I want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's kind of hard because, you know, it's a dating show. And, you know, not to say that you weren't genuine, but you were just trying to, I guess, let her know, hey, I would be supportive to you, that sort of thing. How did you feel about it? Do you feel like she misinterpreted it, or you feel like there was nothing more you can do in that situation?
All the above. Because the one thing that all the guys, you know, if you know me, which all you guys know me, I wasn't acting. That's genuinely how I am, who I am as a person. And since we're on here now and we all know each other, I can say this. If you view me differently from what I'm trying to depict or deliver to you, it does hurt my feelings, because that means you've never had a type of guy that wanted to do that. And I was coming off 100% genuine. Anything as far a person from what I gathered and what I could feel energy-wise, that's what she needed. But she was not receiving it at that time.
You know what? That's one thing about a lot of us. Some of us, like David, you know, Ben, you know, a lot of us have our moments, like our smooth conversation moments, right? The smoothness. And sometimes I think, or do you guys think, let me ask you guys this. Do you think because you guys were dating celebrity women, and a lot of times celebrity women have men that want to be all over them, you know, they'll tell them anything. Do you feel like that could have played a part in them misinterpreting you guys as well put togetherness as smoothness? You know what I'm saying? Because Dre, you said something to the effect of, hey, look, I had to work on myself. I didn't, you know, feel comfortable talking to women. So I'm thinking, did they maybe misunderstand what was really not smoothness and all they player? Maybe it was men who took time to really put into themselves, right?
Right.
Or y'all could have been feeding them game. I mean, you on TV. It is what it is. You could have been feeding them that game, letting them see that work. That's a possibility too. So, I mean, what do y'all think about that?
David?
I'll go last. Well, I was going to go last.
I'll jump in. So listen, it's one of those things where, like, when you do the work on yourself and you know who you are, it's disarming to people, because they're like, "What? Wait a second. Like, you don't give a shit what I just said? Like, you're just gonna say who you are, and you're gonna keep saying who you are and showing me who you are, and I got to figure out if that's real, if that's because." And celebrities may be different, but I don't think so. I think all women in general at a certain age have heard all the bullshit. And so it's one of those things where, you know, I think there's a wrestle where they're saying, is this right? Like, is it, or is this bullshit? And and it's hard. I mean, I think it's hard for anybody, but I think it's hard for women of a certain age to really discern, like, is this guy trying to play me and just tell me what I want to hear or not? And so when you get a bunch of people that really have done work, and like Dre and I think from the first moment we're friends. And so, you know, listen, I love this guy. We were talking every day after these interactions, like,
y'all like brother wives.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I got her on the even days, you got her on the odds. We'll share.
I'll jump in real
We
quick.
didn't talk to Nosh, right? Nosh is on that, right?
Yeah.
No, I love Nosh.
You know, we talked about a whole bunch of things, but we were just, the thing about being genuine, and the one thing I can say about Ben is that the difference between me and him is that he talked about feelings, and that's probably where I was the weakest at. I don't know you, and I didn't want to share because it didn't seem like in my eyes that maybe she wasn't ready to hear that, because I was going off based off the conversation. So I'm trying to listen and react instead of taking the control, because if you've been around her enough, you want to kind of not tread lightly, but you're trying to be in this game, and you don't want to say anything triggering or anything that's going to get you sent home.
Did you feel like it was walking on landmines a little bit, like you're trying not to set off?
Not landmines, but you just want to be able to listen to the person. So we were talking about our grandfather, and then we kind of segued, and then we was like, how would you treat a man? And this is how I would treat a woman. But maybe, like you said, sometimes you're, from my polishedness or whatever, putting in the work, this is how I would treat a woman. And maybe it sounded too good to her at that time.
Right. She liked your rough hands, though.
She liked your rough hands. She did love your rough
hands. That's
I
good.
do. That they do, like, because they're celebrities, they have a really high bullshit detector, and I feel like that doesn't serve them all the time. That's kind of how I felt. Like I was watching the episode and watching Dre, and to me it didn't seem like he was trying to be smooth. It just seemed like he was being Dre, because we do know each other. And in particular, the part where you talked about how you used to be really shy, and you've been doing all this personal work to build yourself into the man that you are today, that resonated to me, and it felt like it was really real. And I felt like she didn't catch on to that part, because she didn't like comment on it, and she was just talking about how smooth you were, and it's like, but he's just like sharing some real stuff right there. And I do think that's some of that, like, that kind of high bullshit detector. It goes on alert even when it's not bullshit, and that's kind of what I felt was going on in that a little bit,
like a false alarm type of thing.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a great point, Afam. Great point. Zach, what you got?
Well, I've never been accused of being smooth, so I'm awkward. I'm whatever. I've never been accused of being smooth, man. I'll fall asleep on a pile of bricks. I'm just chilling, baby. Like, nobody ever said, "Oh, that guy's smooth." They'll be like, "I don't know what it is about him, but he's quirky." Second thing, if you're doing it right, it's always going to be slippery, Afam. Just remember this, all right, you fellas? Like, I know you
right,
fell
it's
off
always going to be slippery.
Right?
All right.
If you're doing it right, it's gonna be slippery, Daddy. I mean,
okay.
No, but for me, I just felt, honestly, like I felt like I wanted to be myself. And do I fit into this world that these girls are in? Right? Like, could I fit into their world? Like, I know who I am as a man. I feel like I have a high value. I'm confident in my own skin. I'm not worried about trying to impress somebody. I'm just not. Like, I don't need to. You're not paying my bills. If I'm sick, you feed my kid. Like, if you're not doing those things for me, I'm not really worried about your opinion. I want to be the best person I can be and represent that. But do I fit into your world, and do you fit into mine? So that's what I was trying to do the whole time. Like, could we actually fit in each other's worlds?
Yeah.
And if not, then we're just gonna be friends, and that's cool. Because I didn't treat them like celebrities. I just thought they were people, man. Like, they put their pants on one leg at a time, and they're beautiful, and they're awesome, and they're amazing. And at the same time, I feel like we all are too. So let's just, you know what I mean? Like, I just say, let's just be real from jump. And so that's just all I try to do. So I've never been smooth, my friend. Like, I just
yeah. I've been taught a lot of things. Smooth ain't one of them.
It ain't one of them.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, David, you got some?
I would just say, look, I think that all three of the women were extremely stunning. The camera really doesn't capture,
I would agree,
their total essence, right? When they walk into a room, they have an impact, okay? And each one of them, let alone all three at the same time. And so that can be unsettling for someone in a situation like that. I think all of them were on their A game and probably caught all the guys, like, at least, I don't want to say caught them off guard, but certainly it was more than what was expected. Let me just say that. Shout out to Will Packard Productions. Definitely exceeded expectations. No one would have ever guessed. Right. And so that alone was like a big shock from the beginning. That was like a true shock and awe. From there, it was, I think, you know, some of the guys just hit it. It's like, can you show someone who you are from the very beginning, and how much of that do you show, and how do you show it? And so I think with all of the queens, you know, I mean, there was it's hard to believe, but the time was really limited, you know, like if you got matched with K Michelle or London or LisaRaye, you didn't have a lot of extra time to just be kicking it with somebody else. And so you really had to, right, you really had to try to make whatever inroads you could with the person that you got matched with. And I feel like in those situations, again, there's a lot that was edited out. And, you know, LisaRaye and I talked a lot about just different things, you know, Taj Mahal and the love story behind all of that, you know, like all of that was completely edited out. Yeah.
That was player.
No, wait, I'm gonna charge you for that, and the folks from India are gonna charge
you. That's okay. Charge me. That's okay. Put it on my tab. Put it on my tab.
Rupees on you for that one.
Nah,
but but yeah, it was a really cool experience. But it was like you had to really be like sharp on your game, just because there was no time to waste at all.
Absolutely. Well, look, guys, we need to wrap this up a little bit. We've been having so much fun. We almost at the hour mark, but I wanted to get in a couple more things. I want to talk about the elimination, and I want to talk about a couple of special moments for the Kings that are not here, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. So we'll keep our responses to 1-2 minutes. So, okay. First, before we talk about the elimination dinner, because I'm sure you guys seen that, let's talk about some moments that happened that were maybe outside of ourselves with some of the other Kings. And let's just see. I just want to see what you guys think about it. If you have something to, you know, say about it, it's cool. Everyone doesn't have to respond if you don't have anything. But one thing I noticed was London and Dr. Elam. Okay, Dun and Doc, they had their own one-on-one date. You guys saw. I think they did something where London's guys was making body butter, right? Making body butter. And Zach had his time to go, and he was rubbing on London, getting his time in. I see you, player. And then Dr. Elam, he had his time with her. And Dr. Elam, as a, you know, he's a very interesting personality too, because all the Kings, we all are successful, but everybody has their own personalities. And Dr. Elam was very, I think London said he was very like poetic in the way that he expressed and talked. She was rubbing his back. I don't know if y'all saw that one. She was rubbing his back, and then she asked him about his tattoos. And he gave the most whimsical answer. I think it was deep. She was like, tell me about your tattoos. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even never heard nobody even start a sentence like this, but he was like, many moons ago.
I was touched by Ra. And
he said, tell me about your tattoo. He had a tattoo. He said, first off, he looked off into the abyss. Many moons ago. Kings from the descendant came down from the eye of Ra, and I woke up and I was like this, and I'm just like, what tattoo shop is that? Is that black ink? Like, I ain't know. So the answers was like, you know, but it was big. And listen, whatever worked for you, because it was working.
My answers were too smooth. That was smooth. I would never say that. I would
Dr. Elam was different. He talked very like London said. I'm using her words, very poetic. You know. He's like, you know, the birds and the bees be chilling in the trees. Like, I get it. But it seemed like their relationship was really just based off the physical. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she made it clear. She said, hey, I want Dr. Elam can bang my brains out. I said, geez, Louise.
Yeah.
You know what, Zeus? Hey, you know what, Zeus? Let me say this, man. So one, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with London. Like I say, it was so many guys and it was a few queens. And so you really had to spend your time focused on the person. But I would say this. London is someone who has like a really sweet and kind soul. And if you just look at the outer appearance, you will miss all of it. And like, she don't play any games. I mean, she's her own woman. She's totally competent and capable of handling herself, right? In defending or offending, however she got to deal with, you know, things. But who I think she is as a person, like without all of the other stuff, is like probably one of the sweetest, nicest persons, you know, people you would meet. But I think people probably don't approach or consider that part when they first approach her.
Right. Well, yeah, that interaction with Dr. Elam left London feeling like, man, is it just physical? Because she tried to get a little bit more information out of him, and it seemed like, I think she asked him, how many kids did she have? What were the genders? And he didn't know the answers to it. So I think it made her feel like, hey, maybe this is just the physical. And London, she'll let you know, hey, I'm delicious. I have this other side of me. I do have this sexual side. But I think she also makes a point to say on this show, hey, I need more than that. I need more than that. I'm looking for something of validity. So I thought she was really clear on that. It was with the elimination. Oh, a couple of special other moments. What did it look like? Did you guys think when you saw K. Michelle and Delicious kind of having a tiff over Zach? Because you guys wasn't able to see that, but you saw it on the show, and it looked like Kay, was just like, hey, she stated her piece. London stated her piece. And it looked like both were standing their grounds, type of thing. But I kind of understood, what both people were saying in the same breath is like, it's a dating show. And the ladies are dating they're dating multiple guys. And Kay did not want to share Zach, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. But Zach sharing Kay. So maybe that was just something. And Kay will tell you, she's like, look, I ain't saying it's right or wrong. That's how I am. And that's what I love about Kay, because she'll be, hey, this is who I am. But what did y'all see that exchange with London and Kay about Zach?
Yeah.
Zach was a ice cream sandwich. He was a cream in the middle.
This is one of those, if you're not first, you're last, right? So
Ricky Bobby.
And I get her perspective on that. And then I also get Zach. Zach's like, there's enough to go around, ladies.
Yeah. Exactly. Zach said, I ain't knocking it. I
will be honest though. Before I got to know Zach on a personal level, before we became Flower Pen Brothers, I was like, why is Zach here? Why is Zach?
That's a fair question, Zach.
I think that's where I agree with you.
Yeah, like what they see in Zach. Because if you don't know you,
like nobody knows.
Zach's nickname was Code.
Exactly. Then we get to know you, and it's like, okay. Zach got something with him. You say, okay, Zach personality, you a good looking brother, and so it's like I see. But when you come on the show, remind you this is a predominantly black show, right? So you come on the show and you like, who is this white guy that got two of the queen? You know what I'm saying?
I brought this up, Zach. I brought this up.
That's just greedy.
I said this guy's the only guy that dated two black women. The white guy on the show. How did that happen? Who did he talk to? Because cheat code, I watched that, and you got to watch him. All right, and I'm not going to get too far, but if you didn't know where he was at,
right,
he was getting information. All right, I don't know who he paid, but he was getting information. I promise you, he was.
Zach dating two black women on a black show. I'm glad this ain't come out on Black History Month, because that would have made it work.
Zach say, "Don't let the smooth taste fool you, man."
Secretly, Zach was the producer.
Zach is the MVP. He bared the cross to have that though. He got scorched.
And we need to get special awards. We need to get special awards on this show, like trading cards. Talk to me after the show. We'll make a trading card because we got some legends on this show. We have some legendary moments on this show.
Oh yes,
absolutely.
I love you, man.
The game ain't about playing; it's about retiring.
Elimination.
What is that?
Elimination. Y'all saw that, right? Elimination. Dr. Elam, Adam, Dre, and who else? I'm missing somebody.
Chris. Was it Chris?
Chris. That's right. Chris. And Chris was London's love interest. So, okay. So, Dre, you the only one here that was at elimination at that dinner, right?
Correct.
Okay. Tell us about that. How was that elimination dinner? That was your first?
Yeah. That was my first.
Okay, your first one. Were you confused? Did you feel like, how did I get a date, but now I'm in elimination? Like, how did you feel about that? Did you think you were going home?
No, I didn't think I was going home. I didn't think anything. I was confused. I was so confused. But once you and then she, we talked and everything, and then it came through, and I was like, okay, we got through this one. So this doesn't need to happen again.
Right.
We'll get to that. But you know.
Okay.
But you know, Elam, we get to Elam, so that's really the main part of that episode. And if you were there in person, oh my God, bro! Like you see me coming off the episode, like that was some heavy shit. Like I say that, and they catch that in the, you know, while we walking, but it was so emotional. It was so much more on that episode.
Well, tell us. Don't hold it back, Nick. Tell us.
You know, I was drunk. No, I'm just playing. I wasn't. But we was like, they were going back and forth because Dr. Eden, he was like this. He was like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, I don't know what happened in that date that wasn't, they were not, London and Elam were not connecting, and it was time for him to go. And that's how it felt. And he was just like, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, he was kind of like, it's okay. It's not our path.
It's
like
not
he was
our
like,
path.
he was like calm, like
I was like, bro, but she was over there tearing up. He's over here being spiritual and out of body experience. And I'm like, what is going on over here? And then Adam got kicked off by LisaRaye. And he's like, it's just the age. And you know what? You don't make enough. You know, so we knew he wasn't gonna stay. You know, and it was just a lot, bro. Like in that first, man, I didn't know. I'm having a heart attack right now.
You say you don't make enough. Jesus.
Golly.
Lord. Okay.
Bro, come on, we all knew that.
Yeah, it was, listen, LisaRaye has been honest. She said, hey, you know what it is. You know what it is. Allah,
you fly me to Turks and Caicos.
That's right.
Not happening.
You better fly me to Turkey to buy me a turkey. That's what the type of shit I want, goddammit.
Gentlemen.
So the elimination, absolutely, the elimination was very emotional. I kind of seen Dr. Elam and London kind of falling off because they couldn't get past just the physical. And you know, Dr. Elam was smooth. He had a great, you know, it seemed like he did great on the show XYZ. Even Zach, I did like seeing Zach and Dr. Elam kind of go head and head a little bit. They were doing body butter, and Dr. Elam set a line, and Zach kind of like hit the ping pong ball back over the thing, like without missing a step. And it's those little things, because everybody kind of has their competition. Now you can act like you don't, but a real good competitor knows their competition. You know what I'm saying? And in that instance, I think he said something like, you know, something to the effect of, yeah, it can get hard or something like that. She was like, yeah, body butter, it can get hard. And Zach was just like, yeah, it would be pretty weird for everybody to be hard right now. And it's kind of got that shit out the way, like, get that shit out of here. And I was like, ooh, Zach is spicy.
You put a little bit of grit in this.
Yeah, it was something to that effect. So real quick, before we end this, I want to know, who are you guys' biggest competitor on this episode? You know, on the show, rather, whatever one. Tell me who you guys' biggest competitor, if you had to name one. Come on, D. I know you.
Ben.
Okay, Dre, Ben.
Yeah. So I would say Dre at this point, like trying to figure it out. And I'm like, man, I like this guy.
Right.
But we're in competition. So
yeah. Don't forget about Nash. Let's not forget about the Nigerian dignitary.
We're not worried about him. We're not worried about him.
We ain't there yet.
Nash was busy at work sometimes. So, you know, Nash was him being busy, you know, and he saved himself too, because he'd be busy and then he kind of come in at the last minute. So I love that, because at least he showed up for Kay. But, you know, Nash, you know,
he wasn't there yet.
He wasn't there.
There you go.
Yeah, he had a work thing on this one, or else he would have been on this one.
Right.
My biggest competition was Zach. So I was glad when he self-eliminated from my competition.
When Zach switched teams.
Yeah. At this point in the competition, you know, like second episode. I mean, let's be realistic. Elam is a dentist. Dr. Elam is a dentist. He's a good-looking man. He's sick. He's tall. He dresses well. I'm like, all right. I mean, like, what woman would not be attracted to this man? Like, really? Like, let's be realistic.
No, I did think that for like a small second, but you know, once you get to kind of be in the aura, it's like, nah.
Yeah.
But
at this point, he was like the one that was like, all right. I mean, she's gonna keep him around for a long time, right?
Yeah, right.
At this episode, so yeah.
So Elam was your competition.
Yeah. for sure.
Okay, got you. All right, D, who was your competition?
Me?
I knew you was gonna say some shit.
I knew you
Man, look. So, I think that the best you can do is represent yourself well, man. As far as competition, like, I don't think we have to compete with each other. I think we have an opportunity to show who we are every day. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's to the people in your circle or somebody on TV or, somewhere in between. And where that falls is where it falls. If LisaRaye, K. Michelle, or London chose whoever they chose, especially at this point in the show, there's absolutely nothing I think that any of the Kingsmen could fault themselves on per se. Is because you're just being who you are. I mean, you're just in a very brand new environment under a totally different climate and how you have to interact and behave with the folks that are around you. And, you're doing your best to like acclimate to what those things are. Beyond that, man, you leave it all on the field. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, we all get one life and we're in the middle of it. So, all of that waiting around and hee-hawing and being shy and, all that kind of stuff. I think the guys who are selected are probably, hopefully, past all that kind of stuff. And as far as competing with each other, I mean, it's kind of futile. That's like almost a adversarial approach versus just really just trying to showcase who you are and let it be that. So that's probably where I'm at with it.
Wow. So that was a long way of saying Booker. Thank you, David. We appreciate that. All right. So now that we're on here, I want to thank you, gentlemen.
Great, I appreciate
for
the
coming on.
That was good.
Queen's Court
You know what I'm saying?
recap.
For the record, hold on, wait. For the record, Booker, my bro. So you know what I'm saying? Ain't no competition.
Hey,
all right.
Booker's my homie too, dog. Let's go.
I
Let's go.
David is my player partner. I was like, I ain't letting you get out of this. I know the question I asked, baby. You ain't getting. Nah, I ain't that kind of host.
I love you, Zeus. I love you, Zeus.
Oh man, it is so good to be back with you guys. I miss y'all.
I can't listen.
Right,
I hope you got
competition.
I hope you got some Future as a soundtrack behind this because it's like going up for real.
I love the competition because you two were doing y'all thing and y'all were both being yourselves. And that's what I like. You weren't trying to be him. He wasn't trying to be you. Nobody was. And that's what I really love about the show because it shows, for one, how the Queens can like many different personalities that are all not the same. That's what I love about that. And to see a competitor in another person means, hey, you know what? You have something that I can see why she would like you. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you gentlemen gave great responses. Thank you so much for coming on to the second episode of the Recap Queens Court Season 2. I'm excited to see you guys' journey and see who gets picked at the end, who makes it, and who gets picked by the Queens. As always, you guys can watch the show on Bravo. It comes on every Sunday, 9 p.m., right after The Real Housewives. So that's a good primetime spot that y'all are on. And then Peacock. If you guys don't have Peacock, go and get and subscribe to Peacock so you guys can just binge watch the whole season and get to know these wonderful characters, wonderful gentlemen. Last but not least, somebody still single? Just in case the ladies want to know. I'm just asking what the ladies is asking. If you're single, just raise your hand so they can just see you present. Are you single, ladies? Gentlemen, are you single? Okay, I see hands. Okay, Zach. Zach say, "No, I'm chilling." There you go, Zach. Okay, I like that. So yeah, the ladies will be able to follow you guys. And as always, hopefully we can get you guys on the episode 3 of the recap. I hope this opportunity does great things for you, gentlemen. And I hope that I hope that the Queens are doing well as well. And what you guys did on this show is show people that love and genuine people still do exist. We're living in a very, very, very mean, evil world. And right now, the kindness, not only that you showed the Queens, but I'm humbled by the kindness that you guys showed each other and that humility. You have men of all different races, backgrounds, and colors, and all you see is just brotherhood. And that's what we really need. So as always, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time to come and answer the hard questions And I am your host, Top Rope Zeus. We want to thank Live Your Dreams, Not Your Reality for sponsoring this episode. Make sure you guys go to topropezeus.com and become a part of the Dreamers team. If you got a goal, if you got a dream, make sure you wear it so people can see it and you can inspire others. All right.
Yes,
all right, y'all. Thank you for checking us out. Follow the Kings. They single.
All right,
Follow.
bro.
David is in a galaxy. Follow him. And I'm your host, Zeus. As always, live your dreams, not your reality. All right. Peace.
Hey. And at the end, I know we're done, but I also wanted to thank you guys because you all, like, everybody was respectful, dope as hell, helped each other out, encourage. It is a competition, but that was the best for me. And if you guys didn't know, Alfam's nickname is Peacock. So I got you. Love you, big dog.
I think I might leave that in. Pause. I think I might leave that in. Because Zach, you gonna give us a one-liner. That's one thing you good for, Zach. You gonna give us one. Because Afam was just like, he's like, Afam's name is Peacock. Afam's like, I don't know if he want to be known as that, but all right, y'all.
Later, dog.
Shit, man. Peace.
Respect.